How's it going, everybody? It's Topher here, coming back at you with some more tufting tips. This one is basically based off of a couple of people who have reached out to me and asked some questions about my yarn winder. I realized I had only really mentioned it on the live stream I've done and maybe one or two other times in a couple videos, so I figured I'm just going to make a video about it. So this right here is a yarn winder. It's got the piece that the yarn flies onto when you use this. This is a little hole it goes through. I'll actually bring it a little closer. So this is the part that spins. The yarn goes around here when you loop it through this little guy right here. And typically it's stuck to a table doing that, and the yarn is feeding through this side into here to spin and make a ball. So with mine, you'll notice when you see my yarn balls in videos, I usually don't have them on this white piece. Typically, I'll have them in this little gray piece right here. It's a little thinner and it's a little easier to actually get more yarn out of it, because the thicker piece, it eats up a lot more yarn quickly. This, you get a little less surface area to have to worry about. You can fit a little more yarn on it, really. And I'll usually do like 2 at a time. So a lot of the confusion that it seems like people are having is that they see these little gray ones and they're like, well, I looked for the one that you sent me or that you directed me to, and it doesn't have the gray thing. Well, this is actually 3D printed and I made it custom. So I didn't actually design this, but I found somebody who did, and I'm going to show you all that now. So right here, as you see, is the Yay-Tech hand-operated yarn ball winder. This is the same one I have, the blue and white. They're a lot like it. You can get a similar one that has this little opening right here, and that can be used, you know, fairly well. But essentially, this is the piece I bought, and this right here on Thingiverse, this is where people make 3D prints and stuff like that, by Tackiest Shrimp, April 20th, 2020. This is the actual model for that little gray yarn holder that I use. I have a 3D printer, so I printed it out. They made a couple different ones. There's this thicker one. The one I use is this thin one right here. If you are good at 3D printing or you use it all, you can actually, you know, mess with this and remix it and, you know, kind of make it your own. Or, I don't know where it would be on here, but some sites that provide 3D printing stuff, you can actually request for somebody to create it for you. This is the page where I found mine. I'm sure there's people that you can find on Etsy that would be happy to do this for you. Not sponsored, this is just me trying to help you find a service. Yeah, there's a couple people on here that go all the way from $5, presumably based off size, all the way down to $1. Some people make larger things for more expensive prices, but there's some stuff around 10 bucks. There's all sorts of options for people who want to get into that kind of thing. With all that being said, it's pretty easy to get somebody to make one of these for you, or if you have a 3D printer of your own or somebody who does. This one, if you print it yourself, it only took me about, I want to say, an hour at most, maybe 35-45 minutes for each of these. They're kind of frail, so maybe request that somebody opens the STL file, makes it a little thicker if you want it to last a little longer. Or, you know, if you don't want to go through all the hassle of that with all those resources, you can still just use the thicker white one that comes with it. Though your setup is going to have to be different than mine, I imagine, just because when I'm making rugs, these are convenient in that they have a hole in them. They sit on the little dowels that I have set up specifically to hold my yarn. Maybe you can make something that fits this exactly. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe drill a hole through the top. I don't know how that's going to affect it. But experiment, you know, see what works for you. Otherwise, hopefully this is a good resource for you guys to figure out how to make your tufting setup a little more easy to use, you know, a little more convenient for you. But as always, if you guys have any other questions about any of the other rug tufting stuff, you know I spoke to somebody about the hand tufting device that I had. It's not a device as much as it is a tool. I might actually make something on that pretty shortly as well. So if you guys have any questions about anything you've seen before that you think I might have the answer for, just let me know. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.